welcome to B3u. We are going to kick off this Father's Day month with my brother, my so much loved brother, Mr. Colvin Carter. So please welcome everybody, Mr. Carter, to the show. Bro, thank you for coming on and being transparent with our viewers. I appreciate you.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be on here and have this conversation. I know that I can bring some value to this conversation, with some of the things, that I've been through. So I'm ready to share.
All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm originally from New Jersey, a small town, Tinton Falls, New Jersey. I'm 46 years old. I'll be 47 in August. I did 6 years in the military. And after that, I did about 15 years civil service, so to speak, contracting on Fort Benning. And now I'm a barber. I've actually been a barber for about 20 years now. So that's my main thing, being a barber. And I'm also a nutrition coach,
A
nutrition and
nutrition
fitness
coach.
coach. Yeah,
Awesome.
nutrition and
Okay.
fitness coach. Yeah.
Okay. So, fitness coach, do you do training or group training workouts and
Yeah, I
stuff like
do. I do group training. I do online training. I can design workouts. I can help people with their nutrition and stuff like that. So, that's been very, very enjoyable. I've been doing that about 3 years now, and that's been
that?
very, very enjoyable. Been able to meet and connect with a lot of people, and learn about people, learn about the different types of people, because with respect to what we're doing right now, there's a lot of people that's going through a lot of things, and you
Yes,
learn a lot, and I'm able to connect with them because I've been on that journey before.
right, right. Understood. And so, where are you at right now? Where do you conduct your nutrition training?
Fort Mitchell, Alabama, right outside in my garage. So
Okay,
yeah. So
okay.
I do boot camps in my garage. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. I got a nice little crew. Shout out to them, Team HDF.
Yes.
Yeah, they're on it. So I really appreciate them, and I love working with them as well.
Okay.
So I usually do my boot camps Monday, Wednesday, and Friday,
Mhm.
6 a.m. and 7 p.m.
So, if somebody wants to join,
Yes,
how would they
yes.
get in contact
All
with
they have to do is just get in contact with me if you want to join any of those boot camps, and I do it in person and virtual.
you?
So
Okay.
if anybody wants to join any one of those boot camps, just hit me up and I'll put them in the right direction.
What's the information?
Oh, you can DM me on Facebook, Colvin Carter, Colvin Carter. Just DM me, and yeah, I'll give them all the information from there. Yep.
All right. Okay. Well, Carter, please tell me a little bit about your story, the trauma that you go
Well, there's a lot. There's a
through.
lot.
I
So
bet.
there's a lot. And I think it's all intertwined, and kind of leads me to where I am today.
Mhm.
So I know we won't have time to go over everything, but I'll give you kind of like some of the main points of some things that I've been through. Like I said, that has gotten me to this point. I've been married twice, so I've been divorced twice. Two
Okay.
uh two very interesting marriages. I do have a son. We can go into that later. And I also went on a nice little fitness journey. I was able to lose 55 pounds, and that's something that I'm proud of doing because it really it's helped mold me into the person that I am now. It showed me a lot about myself as a person, kind of the things that I was doing, some of the things I've been able to leave behind. So that journey alone um, has been very enlightening, been very, very enlightening. And the reason why I went on that journey is basically because I was tired of being fat. Okay. And I don't know if there's anybody else out there that can relate to this, but it did affect me with my relationships. it did affect me with my relationships, my appearance, how I looked and things like that. It just wasn't with a lot of people, it just wasn't shaking like that. Now, there's people like my like my current girlfriend. My current girlfriend told me when I was bigger that she was trying to get with me and and I ignored her.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of the funny part about it. But it did affect me and my relationships and with my confidence and things like that. And it was like one day, I looked in the mirror and was like, "Yo, you got to do something, man. Like you gotta get yourself to where you need to be. You know you can be better than this." Fitness wasn't something that I was a stranger to. I played football in high school. I was very athletic. In the military, I was always strong. I was always on the overweight program, but I was always strong. You know what I'm saying? Always kind of athletic. So that helped me, along the way like that. Um, but when I got out the military, I trained for a little bit. Um, I had lost some weight at a particular time, but then I gained it back. And when I gained it back, I had gained it back like for about 10 years. So it was time for a change. It was really time for a change. Um,
So
and
your being overweight affected both of the marriage.
both of the marriages.
Yes. Is that
Um,
what
no,
is
it
that what
didn't
you
it
were
didn't
saying?
affect it didn't affect the marriages. The marriages were just a lot of personality conflicts. I was my first marriage, I was very, very young
Okay.
and she was a lot older,
Mhm.
and I suffered from a lot of mental and verbal abuse in that marriage for the simple fact that she was older. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? She really, really took advantage of me. You know what I'm saying? When I first got married, I was 20 years old. I was 20 years
oh,
old when I got married, and she was 29. Yeah, yeah. So and she had 4 kids already. And so that was a big responsibility in itself. I was just graduating high school, getting married at 20 years old to an older woman, and she had 4 kids. So, I was a stepfather at a very, 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 very young age. And at the same time, because of a previous relationship, my son was also conceived and born. So I had that going on with my son's mom. That was kind of, a shaky type thing. And I was getting into this marriage with this older woman with, 4 kids. Like I say, I was young, so I did a I really set myself up right there. I set myself up there for the okey doke, for the
okay.
okey doke.
So did that? How did that affect? Okay, that's your first thing. Right.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So how did that affect you once you realized that it was ending? It was coming to an end. It wasn't what y'all didn't have any children out of that marriage. Correct.
No, I didn't have any children out of that.
Okay.
And what was your question?
How did it affect you that first marriage? You were
How
you,
did it
once.
affect
Now,
me?
how long did y'all stay married? First
We
off,
were
let me
married
ask you.
6 years. We were married
6
six
years,
years. Yeah,
and
we
then
were
you
married 6 years.
realized that this is not for you. You're being abused,
Yes,
taken
yes,
advantage of.
yes, yes, yes. So
Now,
I
as a man, as a young man, still you're 20 years old.
yeah.
Were you big at this time or no?
Yes, at this time, yes, I was big because I was getting out the military, stressed out. That's what the reason why I was out the military because I was overweight,
Yeah.
failed the tape test, so they kicked me out.
So self confidence. Where's your self
Yes,
confidence there?
yes.
Where was your self confidence? Did you have any?
I didn't have any. I didn't have any. I didn't have any. It was like to the point to where I just didn't care. I just didn't care at all about anything, about nothing. Um, I was in a marriage that I really didn't want to be in, and the military. I just wasn't mature enough for that at the time because I was just going through so much stuff. You know what I'm saying? They should have kicked me out. I'm glad they kicked me out. For real, seriously, I'm glad they did because I, wa- I was no good to nobody. I was no good to nobody. Young, immature, making terrible decisions, just screwing up his life, to be perfectly honest with you.
So you married again.
Yes,
After,
I now when I married again, I waited a while. I waited a while. About I waited about a good 8, 9 years before I got married again.
and,
But
uh-huh.
I didn't learn my lesson from the first time. 8, 9 years, I still didn't learn my lesson from the first time. I got married very, very quickly with the second one. And she just turned out to be a fraud. Just a fraud. And that was tough too because she was very controlling as well. She was very, very controlling as well. Very yes, just very controlling. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Okay. So as you know, as this now, were you still suffering with, or were you
Yes,
still
weight,
dealing with the weight and
weight,
everything?
yes, yes, yes. Still dealing with weight. Yes, yes. And the strange part, I'm going to tell you the strange part. The strange part is that, well, that was after. That was after. That was after. After that second marriage, um, I became very, very numb. Very, very numb. Like no love at all. Like none. None. Didn't want to.
Not, not even for yourself.
No, 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 no love at all. No love at all for anybody. Like it was like I was reliving my 20s again after that marriage. You know, I was doing my thing. Just to be perfectly honest with you, I was doing my thing. I was sleeping with a lot of women. I was sleeping with a lot of women, doing a lot of, and wasn't committing to nobody.
And
So,
this is because of
yeah.
you just didn't care. Just
Nah, I didn't care. I didn't care. I didn't care about anybody's feelings. I didn't care about hurting people. I didn't care about none of that. All I cared about was me. That was it.
okay.
That was it.
Did you, so you said you cared about, did you really care about yourself, or were you just disappointed with you and you know, but you said the other women were hurting you.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
you didn't have that. And now correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just asking the questions, you know, they were hurting you, you had the weight issue, so you just was like not caring, got kicked out the military and just was just out there.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Cause I had I really had no direction. I really had no direction. Now I was going on living life and doing things and stuff like that, but I really had no direction. I had no desire for any type of commitment. I had no desire for any of that. You know what I'm saying? I started drinking. I was drinking that's when I started really, really drinking a lot, a lot.
Now, support system, I know that you're a man who loves his mother. You love his mother. Did you have
Yes.
anybody in your a male figure or anybody in your life that seen the direction you were going, seen what state you in? Did anybody try to, you know, reach out and help you? Was there any help at this point, or it was just you?
No, because I do good. I do good at hiding things that I'm going through. I do real good at hiding things that I'm going through. Like I say, I can you can look at me and be like, okay, that's Carter right there. Still laughing, smiling, doing what I do, whatever, having fun with the guys, whatever it is. At that time, cutting hair, whatever, blah blah blah. That's just what it was. I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't letting people in my business. Whatever I was going through, I was going through it at home. I just do what I do at home. I mean, I'm kind of like that now. Like, I don't really I'm not really out there like that. I kind of stay to myself. But I mean, nah, nobody knew nothing. I wouldn't
So
tell anybody anything either if there was something I was going through. I wasn't gonna tell nobody nothing.
is that because you were just uh, well, it's masking and avoiding.
Yeah.
But what was the reason why you didn't tell anybody? Why didn't you share? Were you ashamed? Did you not know? What was the reason?
Nah, it wasn't none of that. It was
Mhm.
just I just didn't want to share. It was just something that I was just, it was
Feel
It
like
was
you can
my, it
handle on
was,
your own.
yeah, it was my hill to climb. It was my hill to climb. You know what I'm saying? It was nobody else's problem. I know it's stuff that I put on myself. So it wasn't going to be, somebody that I go and talk to about it. I was just like, I just handle it myself. It's just me.
Okay. What is the moment where you hit rock bottom and you realize that you had to get yourself together? Like, okay, all right, yeah, I got to get out of this. When did you hit that rock bottom and realize that you have to do that?
Oh man. There was two things that happened. Um, First, um, I always tell this one first, but there was something that happened before. But my father passed away. My father passed away, and my son was arrested for murder. Those were the two things, and it all happened within the same year. And those two those two things shifted a lot of where I was in my life. Um, I don't, I'll tell you this, when my son got arrested for murder, um, going through what I was going through with him and with his mom, that did a lot of damage as well because I never had a relationship with my son. He was kept from me. He was literally kept from me. And so when he became too much to handle for his mom, that's when she called me back into the picture and wanted me to fix it. And me being the man that I am, I'm going to try to fix it because it's my son. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see my anything bad happen to him. I want to get him on the right track. I'm his father. I feel like that I can do it, but I couldn't do it. We didn't have that relationship built in order for me to be able to do it. He was he was 16. He was 16. He was already influenced to where he was going to be influenced to be. But at that time, that was such a weight on me because that's my only son. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And there was a lot of problems there. And I've never told anybody this part. I really actually just shared that story with my son a couple weeks ago, but I've never ever shared this part of the story. And this is probably what broke me the most. Now, I told you when he came to me from his mom, I was trying, and the relationship wasn't good. It didn't work. He was ran away all the time, things like that. Um, when he ran away for the last time, he got put in a facility. He broke out of the facility. He went, killed someone. That man that he killed, he used his cell phone, called me, and said, "Motherfucker, I will kill you." That's that's what he said to me after he did what he did. And I'm thinking, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And to this day, I can't get that phone call out my head. I can't get that phone call out my head. I can't get that phone call out my head and knowing he did what he did, he would have done that to me because he hated me that much. And what did I do? I didn't have a chance to build a relationship with him. So it's like, what did I do? What could I have done?
So you started blaming yourself.
Yeah. Like what could I have done? What could I have done different? What was it that I could have done different to make that situation not happen?
And how many years ago was
This was like 5 years ago, man.
5 years? Or is your son still incarcerated?
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
type of relationship do you have now? Do you try to reach
We
out?
don't have one now. We don't even have one now.
So this is still sort of haunting you, so to speak.
Yeah, I don't really talk about this much, and I'm more so block it out than anything. So talking about it, if I get a little emotional, it's just because I don't talk about it much. But just thinking about it, it just, you know, and I just always think about what is it that I could have done more? What could I have done more? I tried to do everything that I could do, but I always think about what is it that I could have done more. For a time, I didn't even know where he was. I didn't even know where he was.
So this is like what we call like a stuck point, where we go through a situation in our lives that we have no control over. Okay.
Right.
And I have a situation where my baby boy, my I have two sons and three daughters. My second son didn't grow up with us. I was a young girl at the time, didn't know how to take care of kids.
Hmm.
I was so at the time I just had my oldest son, and then I had my second son. My second son had behavioral issues. I was being abused by the husband, the ex-husband, and his mother asked to say, hey,
Hmm.
I'll take care of your son, because because I was pregnant again, trying to
Hmm.
handle the one I got now, still getting my
Hmm.
ass whooped by the, So she said, I'll take him. So she wound up taking my son. It was supposed to be just for a little while. He was just supposed to go with her, and then it wound up turning into a long, extended stay. She put him on Social Security to get the money because he had ADHD, all this stuff. So years go on. I never raised my son,
Hmm.
and even now he suffers with alcoholism and stuff now.
Hmm.
And I heard it's like, sometimes it's like, me and my son did get back together. It was like he hated me. Like, and I'm
Right.
I'm like, well, I wasn't there. He was being fed all kind of false lies, and we talked about it.
Yes. Yes.
And when we talked about it, hey son, he would tell me that, hey mom, because I asked him, I said, come on to Germany. You want to come to Germany with the rest of the kids? And he was
Hmm.
like, no, I don't want to go. And his father was like, he don't want to go with you and live that military life. So I was like, oh, but come to find out later on, they told him to stay there. So,
Wow.
my son has suffered some mental, some trauma that he deals with. It's the reason why he does drink today.
Yeah.
And I'm always saying to myself, what could I have done? Like, I feel bad. I feel so bad, like, what could I have done more? What could I have done better?
Yeah.
And then I had to realize, like, after, he kept doing things even in his adult life before he went to the military. He's in the military now. And I think to myself, what could I have done better? Like, I start to blame myself. But then, I realize, because in the military, we do a lot of training, we do a lot of therapy.
Right.
And what they made me realize is that, you know, what even if you try to change the narrative, the story may change and something else may happen.
Right. Right.
So they ask you, how many times are you going to keep blaming yourself and trying to change the narrative and trying to change whatever the outcome is, if you cannot help that person?
Hmm.
That's like you said, you didn't raise them. You was that opportunity was taken away from you.
Yes.
So that's not your fault. But
Right.
still, as the
Still here.
father, as the man, that's your son. You love him. You hurt him for the things that he did, and. And then you hear him say that to you, and yes, it haunts us. And it takes, and I will tell you, still to this day with me as well, I feel I'm hurt
Yes.
because it's my son. But what I do, and this is just me, what I do is I realize that I can't change nothing of the past, and anything of the past was none of my doing. It's not my fault.
Right.
I didn't do it.
Right.
But what I do is I redirect and I put it in God's hands.
Mm-hmm.
I just pray, God, only you can control this. You
Right.
are the savior. We're not, we as parents, we want to be the
Mm-hmm.
savior. We want to save, we want to help. And the truth is we can't. All we can do is pray for our children.
Mm-hmm.
So I do sympathize and I empathize
Yes.
with you,
Yes.
bro, because it is
With
a hard thing.
yeah, and excuse me, I think one of something else that's difficult about that is I shouldn't say this, but it's the truth, and I don't feel bad about it. I hate his mom. I hate his mom. I hate her. I hate her. There's nothing. God can't even deliver me from the hate that I have for that woman. I'm trying to tell you. That's the realest shit I can tell you right now. That is real talk. God can't even help me with that. Just because of the simple that is my only child, my only birth child. I have a goddaughter. I love her very much. I post her all the time on social media, all the time, all the time. I love her. She's like my daughter. But he is my only biological child, and she took that away from me, and I will never forgive her for that, ever, ever.
When we in these
You
dark
have a you if she was burning right here, right beside me, you have a better chance of putting her out than I do.
and
You have a better chance
those
of
are
putting her out before I
human
do.
emotions. You can't take that from you. You can't take that from you. It's your child. You said you only got one, so I do understand. I do understand.
And that's I don't I know that's a part of my healing as well. And that's
It is.
probably what's keeping me from, looking at it as things that I can't control. At the end of the day, I know it's something that I couldn't control, but it's still I can't get over that. That's why I block it out. That's why I block it out. I go around
So
angry. I will go around angry every day if I don't block it out.
right,
If I don't block it out, I'll be angry every day
and
because
that's a part.
I'll never have that relationship with my son. I'll never do, man, like it is so hard seeing, you know, brothers with their sons celebrating with them and stuff like that, and knowing I did not get a chance to do that with mine. That shit hurts bad.
So as we when we're in this type of trauma, we have to learn to stop
Mhm.
listening to ourselves. Because when you say you
Yeah.
get angry, that's because you're listening to yourself and you're listening. We have to talk ourselves, bro. Look, man, this situation fucking sucks. But look, I only thing I could do is, whatever you need to do to talk. You need to start doing more talking to yourself than listening to yourself, because that shit right there makes you more crazy. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It makes you more
Yeah.
crazy, and then that's where you shut down from people. You just draw back. You know what I'm saying? And you want to live that life. Is
Yeah.
it like, do you feel like at times that you shouldn't have a good life because what happened to your son? Does that affect you?
Yeah, it does. It does. It does. It really affects me. It affects all areas because it has numbed me. It has numbed me. And I feel so bad sometimes because I know my girlfriend, I know she be like, man, you be so numb sometime. And I know I do. And it's man, it's rough. It's hard. It's hard, man.
Do you use any tools to help you through this dark period? Any
Yeah.
therapy, any, I mean, you know,
Um, I do see a psychiatrist from the VA. I see a psychiatrist from the VA. And
is
we
it
talk about it
helpful?
sometimes. We talk
Is
about
it
it.
okay? Does it, you, how do you feel when you come out of those sessions? Is it helpful?
I mean, it's all right. It's all right.
Okay.
It's
That's
all
real
right,
talk.
man.
That's real
Like,
talk.
like, like, I don't know. I know I have to help myself in the situation, but it makes me so angry every time I talk about it, every time I think about it. It just makes me because I know I can never get that time back. I can never get that time back. I can never get that time back, man.
Do you
I,
ever, do you think about reaching out to him? Do you think about, trying to talk to her? Is he angry?
yeah,
Is
he
he
angry.
angry with you?
Yeah, yeah, he's angry. Yeah. So, I mean, I, sis, I try. I try. I do. I try. Um, I know this is about overcoming, overcoming, this stuff and kind of seems like I,
This is real talk. It's not, how, we learn how to burn, break, and become unstoppable, right? But,
yeah,
it's all about, everybody is a human being. It's what
yeah,
you're going through. You're not just late, so you're going through. You may not have overcome it, but you're going through. Right now, what
right.
you're showing people is how you are being resilient. You still going through your time. You go through your moments. You have a girlfriend now. You've been married twice, but look, you're dating again. We got to
Yeah,
start looking at the positive things in life.
yeah.
You're over. You're not. You may
And
have
I
not
love her.
overcame. Are you
And I
like,
love her. I love
okay?
her.
See that right there is progress. We don't give
Mhm.
ourselves enough credit. We
Mhm.
rob ourselves from credit. And I'm going to give you, brother, the credit that you deserve because you could be out here so angry. And like you said, you hate her. You could be like, you know what, bitch? You took my son away from me. I'm going to take you out the equation. You could be rogue like that. We all know how military personnel, when we don't try, we crazy.
Yeah, man.
We know all the things that we have been through, deployments or
Yeah,
whatever. We
yeah,
come out here, and if we are not guarding ourselves, we could, especially if you've been through something as deep as you. So I
yeah.
commend you just for you may not have overcame, but you are making it through. So I'm going to give you those flowers. I'm going to give you those props right there.
I mean, I really have no other choice. I really have no other choice to tell you the truth because I mean, I can't. That stuff can bother me, but I know it can't weigh me down from things that I want to do with the rest of my life. You understand what I'm saying? I do understand that. I am aware of that. It can't stop me from accomplishing the things that I want to accomplish, building my business, building both businesses, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Being good in my relationship and stuff like that, being there for my goddaughter and stuff like that. I know that, whatever I've been through can't stop me from doing that stuff. You know what I mean? But I think that you know that pain is still there, deep on the inside. I've just learned how to suppress it. I've learned how to suppress it. So if it's about getting through your troubles, getting through your trauma, um I've learned to I've just learned to be resilient, have some grit, have some fortitude, just knowing that those things are not going to change. Those situations are never going to change. They're never going to change. But I know that I have
Do
to
you have
keep
a
going.
purpose? Do you have a purpose? Is it shaping a sense of purpose that the pain that you're
Yes, yes,
experiencing?
yes, yes,
What
yes.
is what is the purpose? What is
Well,
your purpose in your
I
life?
love what I love. I love helping people. I love helping people. So helping people through fitness and nutrition, that has given me purpose and passion. You know what I'm saying? When even growing up, I always wanted to be a football coach. I wanted to play football, then I wanted to be a football coach. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not the football coach, but I'm the fitness and nutrition coach. So it's
Right.
something that I see that, hey, this is actually something that I did want to do when, growing up. So this is a passion right here. And I found my purpose with it. And that's just helping other people become their best self.
That's awesome. And you are doing an amazing job. Amazing. Um, do you ever think now are you spiritually connected?
Yeah, yeah, oh
Okay.
yeah.
Do you think there's a deeper why? Like, do you ever say, what is the reason? Is it a deeper why that why am I going through this? Do you think it's a deeper
Oh,
why behind what you're going through?
well, I think when you have when God has given you um a passion and a purpose, I think he's ordaining you as a leader, as someone that can lead other people through the things that they are going through. He chooses people. Everyone's not chosen. Everyone's not
That's right.
chosen.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So he chooses his children for specific things. And he places those gifts with people that he needs to be in the place where they need to be. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that he picks, his children where he wants them to be at. He picks the leaders that he wants um to lead people to be them better selves, not necessarily, in a spiritual aspect, but just making people better, living a better life, living a healthier life, cherishing their own temple. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of their temple. That's my part. You know what I'm saying? That's my part of the word that I'm taking care of, that I believe that, the assignment that I think he's giving me. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
People taking care of their temple.
Amen. Amen. Let me ask you this. If your son was to view and if you could talk to him right now today, what would you want him to know? What would you want to say to him?
Uh, I would just want him to know, if I could just change the situation and just did a little bit more when, he was smaller, and got him underneath my wing, his life would be completely different than it is right now. And I know that beyond a shadow of a doubt. If I could have gotten him when he was smaller, his life will be completely different right now. It'd be completely different. My life will be completely different. Completely different. I'm not saying I have a bad life, but I know my life might be a little bit better if he was in it. If I had a chance to raise him, it would have matured me faster. It would have matured me faster. Because when he was with me, oh, I was on top of everything. I was on top of everything. Like, I even stopped being in relationships to make sure that I could focus on him. That's how I was with it. It was 100% all him, all the time. Whatever he needed, I gave it to him. Any type of anything, whatever it was, he had it. He needed it. My attention, everything. You know what I mean? So if there was something that I could tell him, I'd tell him. I just wish I would have done more in the beginning, and his life wouldn't be like it is right now. And I'm just sorry for that.
What is something you wish more people would understand? Or, so let's say we have a viewer that has a similar instance or similar situation. What is some bit of advice that you can share about going through this type of pain, this type of hurt?
Um, don't do like I do and just hold it in. Don't do like I did. Don't do like I did, because it's hurting me now. You have to learn to let it go. You have to learn to accept it and let it go. You just gotta learn to let it go. If you let it go, it could still affect you. You can still think about it. You can still love them, but you have to let it go. You have to let yourself move on. It's a hard thing to do. It's a very, very hard thing to do, but you have to let yourself Move on. If you don't let yourself move on, then it's gonna just gonna eat at you for a very, very long time until you let it go. I don't know when I'm gonna let it go. I don't know. I've held it on so long. I don't know when I'm gonna let it go. I don't know. Because I hate her. I hate her.
I will be praying for you, bro. That is a very hard. You don't find too many, and you know this is why I have made this platform. And you know, people, you know, we focus on some people just focus on what women go through, what women go through. But you know, I thought to myself, well, what about the man? What about the men? You know, men don't have it. Look, I will say again, I applaud you for coming on, being as transparent as you are, because men, they hide things, they keep things in. They're not going to come out and be, you know,
No,
share their pain. They keep it to
no,
themselves.
no.
But here you are, and that's a bigger thing that's why I say you say you didn't overcome, but you're going through because here you took the boldness to step on this platform, be transparent, and held no bar. We all got you hate her. Look, we know that. And you have every right to have those emotions. You know what I'm saying? Uh, we teach when we were taught younger, and we about in the same age. You said you're 47.
Mm,
I'm 54. What were we taught back then? Men don't cry. Men do. We strong. We this. We
yeah,
quiet.
yeah.
Don't ever show your feelings. Don't ever speak your emotions. I think that's a bunch of bull crap. I think people should be allowed to express themselves, and that's a way of healing within itself. Just to say how you feel about someone who robbed you of being the man and the father that you want to be for your son. Now everything's, you know, you were given a child at a when they were tired. And that's why I say things you have to know people's full story. You
Yeah,
gotta know what's going on because people can already just paint the narrative like, oh, he didn't want to be here, or
yeah,
he
yeah,
wasn't this, or he
yeah,
wasn't that. And
yeah,
then what women do? Girl, you know,
yeah.
he that's a deadbeat. You know, all this time, you know, people don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And my heart really goes out to you for being that type of man who just wants to be there for his son and what I believe in the power of prayer. I'm going to pray, and I hope that the viewers do the same thing. That prayer is a wonderful thing. I
It
know
is.
what you said you won't do, but you can't say what God won't do because
That's true. That's
God
true.
will change you. And then
That's
you be
true.
like, you know what? And then that is a part of a healing because I will tell you that I used to say, and that's what I mean about talking to ourselves more than listening, because I could get in my mind right now and see the hurt that my ex-husband caused some of my children, and I can easily say I hate him.
Right.
I
Right.
hate that mother joker there
Yeah.
because my children wouldn't be suffering. My son
Yes.
wouldn't be suffering like he is if he had the type of father that stood there. Or my children wouldn't suffer from the mental anguishes that they have because you were a crappy father. We have
Yes.
5 children together. You were supposed to be there, but
Yeah.
instead, when I left you, you abused our children.
Yes.
Now, you know, I did the best that I could as a single mom, joined the military, and you left the girls to where's their father? You know, daddy daughter dances. Where were you? And then because you hated me, you
Right.
took it out on our children. You're just like your mother. You
Bridget, I
slapped them.
swear.
When I learned of these things and when I talk to my children today, I say when they tell the story, I get so goddamn angry. Like this mother destroyed my. You telling that you
Yes.
know now that they are adults, they're telling me that their father used to slap them because they look like me or they act like me. Oh my God! And it just take me in my mind to say, you know what, God? And then when I look at him now, diabetic, not doing good, still beating on his wife that he went now, I say, you know what, God? God could do more harm than we
Yeah.
can.
Yes.
So when you, and I pray for you to get to that moment where you just say, you know what? God bless you.
I
You know
need
what
that
I'm saying?
prayer.
Yeah,
I need that prayer. Everybody out there, I need that prayer, y'all. I need that prayer. I need
look,
it.
and wait, look, I pray that people hear that, watch this, and pray for you till you can come to a point where your son even comes to the like, just comes to a realization and just falls before you and say, Dad, I'm sorry, or or
Mhm.
whatever. I'm going to pray for that, and I believe that, and I have faith that things will happen and change so you can overcome.
Yes.
I'm praying
Yes.
for your overcoming.
Yes.
And I just
Thank you.
thank God for the strength that you are going through now. And so, what are some myths, or you would say some BS narratives about you're healing now? Like you said, you didn't overcome, but you're going through. What are some narratives about something that you would hear somebody say, or has somebody said something to you like, man, hurry, and you need to get over it, or has anybody said anything
Um,
like that?
No, not really, because
You don't talk about
I don't really share it. This
it.
is
Okay.
really the first time me sharing it in depth since it happened. So I
Okay.
really haven't, yeah, and that's probably one of those reasons why, because I didn't want to hear those narratives. Oh, you the daddy, you didn't try hard enough. Oh, you didn't
Yeah.
try hard enough. Now I
Mhm.
have heard that before. Like, oh,
Wow.
no, bro, you didn't try hard enough. You the father, you the man. You didn't try hard enough. Bro, you don't know how hard I try, bro. When you don't know where your child is at, when your child is somewhere and you don't know where they at, and you trying, when you do court documents to put your name on the birth certificate and she refused to sign, and that's the only way that you can get some type of visitation for her to
Mhm.
sign, and she refused to sign.
Wow.
I did a lot of I
What would be your message to somebody who doesn't see a way forward? Like you said, you continue on. You're resilient. You keep going through with your life, your businesses. You keep yourself active. You making yourself a better man each and every day. You have a beautiful girlfriend. You're opening up to another relationship. Maybe one day marriage. Who knows? I don't
maybe one day.
know. Maybe
Maybe
one
one day.
day. So, what would be your message to somebody who don't see a way forward?
Um, do this. Do this. Um, think about think about the best version of yourself. Think about the best version of yourself. Think about what that person is. Think about who that person is and how that person operates on a day-to-day basis. And then you look at yourself and see, do you match who that better of yourself is? How far you're away. Look and see how far you're away. And just look at every day, what would that person do? And you start doing the things that that person would do. Your better self, you doing things that, you're eating well, you're working out, you're cultivating your relationships. You're doing all the things, you're making yourself better every day. What would your best self that's doing that, what would they be doing every day? And just start doing those things. You might not be able to do them all, but just start doing, one thing every single day. That makes yourself better. I always say this to my clients, get 1% better every day. 1% better. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just get 1% better every day. If you focus on getting 1% better every day over time, it really adds up, and you'll be a whole brand new person in at least 30 days. You'll be a whole brand new person if you just
Mhm.
continue just to sincerely build on build on the momentum that you build. Build on that momentum. Just keep taking a step forward, even if it's a half a step. Just keep moving forward. And I found, and like I've been saying, I found purpose and passion. By doing that, getting better every single day, I found purpose and passion. And that's what keeps me going every single day, because I know there's somebody out there that needs my help. There's somebody out there that needs my help. I can help somebody every single day. There's somebody every single day that I can put a smile on their face. And I cannot end the day until I put a smile on somebody's face.
All right. Carter, what's next for you?
What's next for me? Just building my business. Um, just um, as always, just being a better
Your
person.
fitness business?
Yeah, my fitness
Your fitness.
business and barbershop business.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still trying to build my barbershop business to, where it's a little bit more sustainable. Everything is a work in progress. Everything is a work in progress. Um, and if you're just staying the same, then you're not growing. So you always gotta you always gotta keep building.
Always got to keep building
Yep.
one brick at a time.
Yep.
Carter, I love you. I
Love
thank
you
you,
too,
my
sis.
brother. This is Father's Day month that this will be aired. You are an amazing father.
Thank you.
You're an amazing father. Happy Father's Day to you
Thank you.
every day.
And
And
happy
I
belated
pray,
Mother's Day.
and I pray for your peace and your healing throughout your journey. Thank you guys for joining B3u. Give it up for Mr. Calvin Carter. Thank him for coming on the show. See you again next